Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from Alpha Central titled, "She filed for divorce and instantly regretted it after his revenge." Men are getting wise to the marriage grift, and it's always great to see that these men are protecting themselves from divorce. Let's jump right into it.
Can somebody please duet this with instructions? Because I have this ratchet strap, right? And I did it the way that I know, but then it got stuck, and I couldn't get it to release, and I had to use pliers to release it, so I figured that can't be right. And then I went on YouTube, and it's all a bunch of guys that are like, and that's how you do it. And nobody is explaining. I need to know.
What's funny here is how these women will openly shame men for virtually no reason, only for them to have a nervous breakdown over the subtle nuances of properly setting up a simple ratchet strap.
From being married for 12 years to getting separated and divorced. I wonder why you got a divorce.
So, married for 12 years, unhappy. She chooses divorce. Heaven knows why that relationship failed. So she shaves her head and, through her mental health issues, becomes some sort of fempowerment coach while still sleeping with her ex-husband and getting ghosted by random men? Did I get that right? Is this empowering?
It's amazing how being happily divorced usually involves TikTok videos with endless self-pity, sleeping around, impulsive tattoos, not to mention endless screaming, and yet all of this is still better than being married to a good man.
How does that even happen?
I think we should normalize taking our mother's last name.
Wait. Just wait.
Because how many of us are going around carrying the last name of a man who did not raise us?
Imagine being so bitter and hateful towards men in general that you need to show this resentment even before you get married. She's advocating for the literal disrespect of her imaginary fiancé.
So that means that a lot of individuals out there would in fact be taking the name of their grandfather. Probably in many cases another individual that did not raise you. I'm just going to leave that there.
She really thought she had something there, didn't she? Wow.
Now let's check in on Gen Z, young adults like these two young ladies who have clearly been failed by the American education system. They've also been failed by their parents and society.
Society need men.
Yes and no.
So in other words, yes, she doesn't want to say yes because she doesn't want people to cancel her though, so instead she gives herself an out by choosing an answer that doesn't actually exist.
No.
So why yes and why no for you? And then I'll ask you why you said no.
Well, because in today's society, sometimes you don't need the male to have a baby anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I would say yes and no.
It's not like a moral thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm like we can exist without men only because new research has been discovered of making egg into so we can reproduce without men. So it's not like a moral thing. It's more of like a like if men just died right now, could we survive? Yes, because of the new research that they're doing.
These women are so short-sighted. Society needs men for infinite reasons, but they are so focused on reproduction instead of admitting that we need men to keep society from quite literally falling apart.
We don't need no man. Oh my God, we're gonna need a man. You tell me all the time we don't need a man. Prove it.
I got a brother. I don't need a man.
She says that she doesn't need a man, but she has a brother, which means that she has a man. These women will perform impossible mental gymnastics just to try and get out of admitting that they are wrong.
You can do this for me.
Where is he now? That's why I use the crowbar. Because I can't do it either.
What, like that?
Yeah, leverage. Leverage. See? Science.
don't need a man, I have a brother. Lady, your brother is still a man.
It took two of them to realize that they needed tools to open that thing, and they probably celebrated their collective genius afterwards.
Yesterday, 6 celebrity women, including Gayle King, Katy Perry, and Lauren Sanchez, who is the plastic fiance of Jeff Bezos, took a Blue Origin rocket into space on a trip that lasted from takeoff to touchdown less than 12 minutes in total. Now, it was no doubt a cool experience for those women. I'm sure it was a lot of fun. But according to the media, it was more than just fun. It was somehow, some way, historic. Oprah Winfrey actually wept as she watched the all-female team launch into space for a trip that would last for approximately half the length of an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. And
she cried at that moment because she was paid a whole bunch of money to cry. This was not a win for humanity. We just figured out how to put a bunch of second-rate has-beens into space.
There she is crying there. Just such a historic moment. Katy Perry, one of the women on this crew, was particularly dramatic. Before the flight, she bragged about the historical journey that she was about to undergo.
We are the Taking Up Space crew. There's 6 of us, all women. It's a historical flight to space because it's the first time that all women have been in space.
Nothing historic happened here at all. They were not the first female astronauts because they aren't astronauts.
I don't even think the first women in space were celebrated nearly as much as Katy Perry, even though the original female astronauts were literally scientists and provided value to the scientific community.
And women have been going into space since the 1960s. In terms of historic significance, this trip is about as monumental as like being the 100th customer to ride the Batman roller coaster at Six Flags on a random Saturday.
Hold on, I did some digging on this. Let's watch.
Was this all fake? Was it not actually real? Here's the evidence. What the hell is going on here? The door opens in the capsule. What's happening there? You shouldn't be able to open up a pressurized door that has just been in outer space from the inside.
In today's day and age, it would not be surprising in the slightest if this was all a hoax. Even if it wasn't, the whole story was a gigantic nothing burger and was already forgotten less than a week after it actually happened.
It's a safety mechanism. There's pressurization. That doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? You can see that they realized the mistake, and little minder went screaming over to tell them, close the door! Jeff Bezos eventually got a little tool and acted like he was the one opening the door. But then it's on the live stream, man. So what's going on here? Is it actually fake? It sure as hell seems like it's fake. And it's like something that's done completely for promotional purposes. They used a bunch of celebrities and idiots and journalists and feminists to do this to get maximum exposure and maybe to incentivize more people to do space tourism. But it doesn't seem real.
How much do you think it cost to launch a bunch of second-rate celebrities up into space for 12 minutes? Even if this was a PR stunt, it cost way too much for practically zero reason. Imagine going to college for 4 years. You get a high-paying job, you get an overpriced apartment, and you're constantly bragging about how you don't need a man, only to get defeated by a jar of pasta sauce.
Which is just equality for women, then you wouldn't be on the stage today and I wouldn't be here asking you this question. And so if people aren't complaining, as you say, and fighting for rights, then nothing would happen. So how can you reconcile these differences?
When I was your age, I thought the same thing, that feminism is just about equality. One of the brilliant things that the left does is they repackage words. So clearly not feminism anymore. It's designed to actually rip apart women and men, to make women paranoid about men all the time. And every industry is controlled by a man, and to make being on your own, I want to do all by myself, aspirational. What are we even fighting anymore?
Womanists will never admit that their ideology has completely failed them. Womanists are irritable, they are lonely, they are depressed, and they are unpleasant. And they can't even mention one good thing that womanism has done for them.
Men holding doors, that's the new feminist cause. Like, no, equality means don't hold the door. No, I like having the door held for me. In a perfect world, our society was so much better when women were involved every single day with their children before we handed them over to the Department of Education. And so I do not not see feminism as having accomplished anything in our society. I actually think it was a nightmare that is being repackaged in our textbook.
These women love to claim that they're oppressed, and the only examples they can come up with are things that were abolished centuries ago, or the fact that men don't open doors for them. That's about it.
What can we really expect from a woman who can't even spell woman right?
I'm good. This should not be this hard. I'm freaking sweating before I even start.
First off, excuse the messy garage. That was getting cleaned up.
Yes, madam, the fact that you weren't able to maintain your lawnmower is secondary to the garage that wasn't even messy to a mild degree.
After I got done mowing. But I originally took this video because I was going to be like, I don't need a man, I can do this on my own. After 2 hours of struggling, I ran to Walmart, I did an oil change, I had to go get more gas. I pulled that thing probably 50 to 60 different times and could not get it to start. I was sweating, I was tired, I was getting so frustrated. So I texted my ex-husband. I was like, is there a trick? I cannot get this to work. Like, I was getting so frustrated with myself because I know how to start a mower. Like, I've started one before.
It's insane how she thinks she's entitled to her ex-husband's help after she divorced him. She won't allow him any peace in life because she's too inept to operate a lawnmower, and it's unfair to him.
And then 10 minutes later, I'm sitting here. I came inside, I gave up, and I saw him pull in. Now, to be completely honest, things have not been great between us. I'm not going to go into details, but we've had a lot of disagreements about things, and we're just in kind of a rough patch. I don't think we'll stay in it. Things will get better eventually, but that's just divorce. That's co-parenting. But I was to the point, I thought, this mower's broken. I'm going to have to get another one, but I can't do it tonight because it's getting a little bit too late.
It takes a lot of nerve to ask the ex-husband you're constantly badgering to come over to the house and solve your mechanical problems as if you're still married to him. That's messed up on so many different levels.
So I was going to go spend money on a new lawnmower, and then I was going to have him take the boys on a night that I was supposed to have with them so I could actually mow. But instead, he came down, helped us both out. I mowed. He still got to go down and spend time with the boys. This is how co-parenting should be, in my opinion. He probably didn't want to come help me out. I did not want to ask him for help.
In her eyes, co-parenting means that he's forced to do husband work for her, even though they're not legally married anymore, just so that he can see his own children. You could have landed a whole jumbo jet in that space, and yet it still took 2 women for her to be able to park properly. And even then, she still needed 2 or 3 tries to actually get it right.
What a twist ending. There's so much wrong with this video, I don't even know where to begin.
See, I don't have to worry about coming home to a honey-do list. I gotta worry about coming home to her doing some super sketchy ass shit because she's impatient as hell and thinks she can do it all by herself.
Well, she didn't see that one coming, mostly because she wasn't looking.
There's a reason why they say that pride comes before the fall.
Yeah, watch this. Like, this won't come off. Like, come on. God damn it. I'm doing that shit. I promise to God I am. I'm not damn daddy, bro. What the? I got that.
It's amazing how these women think that they can be so strong and so independent, except when they don't want to be, and yet that's still considered empowering.
Most pathetic arrest I've ever seen in my life. I mean, look at this. Yo, what moron put these two together, man? We got Paulina Blart. Watch what happens when the one falls over.
It's disturbing how it's considered offensive to point out that men are biologically stronger than women, and they'd rather put the public in danger than just admit that men are better suited for policing.
And just gives up. Meanwhile, her partner's chasing her with a taser, running a 40-minute mile. If my life's in danger and these two show up, I'll see you guys in heaven. Peace!
There should be a basic fitness requirement to become a cop or a fireman, and you can't convince me otherwise.
What this woman doesn't realize is that the men who wish intentionally to do her harm will not be repelled by an unflattering haircut and making faces that make her look uncomfortably constipated.
Excuse me, sir. I have a flat tire. Can you help me?
What?
I have a flat tire. Can you help me?
Help you with a flat tire?
Yeah, right there. My car's right there. Can you help me?
Sorry. I see a gentleman over there.
To be fair, would she stop and help if the man had a flat tire in the middle of the road? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Society has become so toxic that helping a woman with anything could lead to societal shaming or even getting arrested. It's the men who don't feel safe around women, and yet we are still the bad guys.
Gotta work smart, not hard, I guess. Employee of the month right here.
This is proof that they are making the clouds. This is proof that they're making the clouds. You can see them doing it right now, you guys. You can see them doing it right now. Hold on, wait. You know, you telling me my own eyes are deceiving me?
Embarrassing.
I really do hope this is a skit. Did this woman ever go to school?
What's terrifying about this video is that this woman lacks the basic knowledge that's possessed by a child in primary school.
At least she's getting her steps in? Good job, ma'am.
It's in one, right? Okay.
I'm buying for you.
No, it's not that. Is it this? This handbrake?
Yeah, that's the handbrake.
Yeah. So put it
you
down.
pushed it down.
It doesn't matter if she's a licensed driver or if she's still learning. If you're behind the wheel of a car, you should know the basics of how to operate a gear shift.
So can you see the handbrake sign anywhere there?
No.
So it's off. Yeah?
Okay. So I can go. It's not going. This car doesn't like me.
Should we just end it here or? Okay. Just like your friend said, yeah, try and get the biting point, try and bring that clutch pedal higher. Bring it more higher.
Oh, I just felt like I was revving it.
It's probably higher than your instructor's car. You got it now.
Sorry.
This car doesn't like me? You can't make this stuff up.
If there's one thing we can count on with modern women, it's to apply emotions to things that aren't even living just to get out of taking accountability. They hate it that much.
What was this woman aiming for? Failure? Because who needs a man, right? Well, apparently beds do.
This raises so many questions, and the strange part is why those stools are even there in the first place don't even rank in the top 5 of important.
So wait a sec. How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure, right? Like, none of this stuff in the studio is built or maintained by women. You know that like 90% of infrastructure jobs are still held by men, and that if you look at the top 20 jobs held by women now in 2024 versus 1924 are almost the exact same. So women have had 100 years to do whatever they want.
It wouldn't be surprising in the slightest if one of these women say that women could maintain everything and they could do the same jobs as men, but they shouldn't have to, or some such variation of that lazy nonsense.
And they still do the same 20 jobs they did 100 years ago, other than we switched out farm labor for HR work. But other than that, we're secretaries, nurses, daycare ladies, early childhood education, administrative assistants, retail workers, all the same we were a century ago. So if the men are the ones tasked with every time there's a natural disaster, they have to go out and rescue people from the fires and the floodwaters. And every time there's a war, the men have to go and fight it and defend the country.
I forgot that there was a second response to this question, and that is whenever the subject of conscription, fire rescue, and basic labor come up, the response is typically, oh, that's different.
And anytime there's a criminal who needs to be violently arrested, it's going to be a man who goes and does that, not a woman. Where does the equality come in?
That's easy. It comes only when it's convenient for them. Strong, independent, and now soaking wet.
This woman is going to risk serious injuries because she can't lift this can of paint properly, but I guess she'd rather have a spinal injury than just admit that men are physically stronger.
Another one, thank you. 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 Another one, thank you.
I respect it. If I'm paying to study engineering or math, the last thing I want is a lecture on that kind of nonsense.
Imagine being forced to go into tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, just to have the privilege of attending a class where you're endlessly lectured on how men are the cause for literally all of society's woes.
I think women actually don't want equal treatment. They couldn't handle it if they got it, quite a number of them. It's a tough world out there. What a lot of women are actually asking for, and you can look aghast at this, is special treatment. If you look at all female shortlists for positions, is that equal treatment or is that special treatment? I think what women need to realize is that you have to toughen up.
What's funny is how these women expect to be celebrated for doing literally the bare minimum, by the way, it takes to be an adult, and then they expect men to do more, but they still say that they are the ones who are oppressed.
We can't ask for equal pay. You have to be paid on performance, and you have to be paid for the results you deliver. It's a tough world out there, and I don't think Karen Brady and others are doing us any favours by putting this sort of debate out there. I think we have to just compete in what is a tough world. And I think we need to keep that. We need to look after it. Do we want a world that's completely void of colour? Do we want everything to be magnolia? No, we don't.
That woman proves that womanists don't actually want to debate. Debate requires intellect, which doesn't really exist in modern day womanism. They just want to be told that they are right. This woman has no idea how lucky she is. That fall could have permanently injured her, and she's acting like getting paint dumped on her is somehow worse. These women are dangerously stubborn, in my opinion.
Was the spotter just here for moral support? How on earth do you manage to fail this hard?
And the disturbing part is that if a dude was actually in the video trying to help her, he'd most likely get labeled a creepy predator and would probably get fired from his job for trying to help.
I need you! I don't want to do this if I don't have you, please! Please! Record me, I don't care! Record me, I don't care! Post it!
I'm not even recording you.
Post it! Post it! I don't care! 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 I don't care!
This one's a classic video that really does go to show how childish a lot of modern women truly are. There is very little difference between how she's acting and a child who just had their favorite toy taken away.
I don't want you more.
Holy stop. What are you doing, bro?
I need you! Take me back! Please! I'm going crazy! Please! Please! Take me back! Please! I'm going crazy! Please! 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 Please!
I'm afraid that I have to walk back my previous statement. I'm fairly certain children would be more mature than this. This is what happens when you baby people well into adulthood. They are unprepared for anything.
Please, 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 Walter, please, 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 please.
Can you please stop acting like
please.
that?
I can't.
All right, calm down.
I'm hurt. Please, 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 please.
This behavior is completely unacceptable. There was a time when people had enough common sense to not have massive emotional meltdowns in public. Now they are practically encouraged.
Please, 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 Walter, please, Wally, please, 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 please.
Please what?
Please take me back.
I took you
You
back.
won't. I don't want to be with you and everybody else. I want to be only way. Please take me back. Please take me back. Please. Please take me back. Please take me back. Please. Please take me back. How could you get?
Maybe if this woman said please just one extra time, then poor Walter might have changed his mind and took her back. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.